Ibana marungu. Ibana.
Welcome to Luxury Casino, Ontario's most trusted online casino. Now with the highest win rate guarantee.
Whether you like pot collecting, Vegas style game, or double slot, you can choose from our exclusive collection of over 1,000 of the casino games on the market. Check out our live casino room for live action 24/7, or seek your next big win for our progressive. All our games are better our exclusive highest win rate guarantee. Sign up with Luxury Casino now. Licensed in Ontario.
Basi mwana, geleni tata.
Mr. Sumkonda, how are you?
Mr. Chanda, good. How are you? I don't know if it's good morning or good evening. Here it's evening. How are you?
It's afternoon here.
Yeah, wonderful. Here it's evening.
Is it?
It's
Oh,
8.
nice.
Yeah, it's 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Oh.
Yes.
No, that's a good time. It's a good time, you know. At least you at least you are still up.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. So what's happening there?
Yeah, you're fine. It's just hot.
It's hot, eh?
Yeah, it's hot.
It's always the opposite. It's always the opposite. When there it's hot here, it's starting to get cold now.
Okay.
Yeah, while the last days now we're going into what we call spring.
Okay.
Yeah. So spring
Yes.
is about to start. You know, we're about to start, you know, to full of infula shani, and then flag up,
Okay.
and then that's it. I mean, it starts getting cold now.
Okay.
Like really cold.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this month and next month, September, October. October it will be too hot.
Uh,
Yes. Then by the end of October, actually we'll have to start experiencing maybe some clouds and showering going down
uh,
into November.
ah,
Yes, but I think now people are starting preparing the fields now. for the farming season.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. And this year there was a huge bumper harvest this year.
Yeah, yes, this year we recorded a bumper harvest. We had a very good rain, eh?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hopefully it
Mm.
continues. Hopefully it continues.
That is our prayer.
Okay, go. Give me a minute. We'll start in a minute. Just give me one minute. I'll be back. I just
No
want to
problem.
finish up stuff.
Okay, no problem.
Mr. Imwani, welcome.
Thank you. Today, I hope today I'll be lucky. If
Yeah,
anything happens, it's because of network.
network. Yeah,
Yes.
network issues. Are you back
Net-
from Namibia?
yes, I'm back. I came
Nice.
back.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
So yeah. You're still in Zambia.
Yeah, still in Zambia up
At
to
the farm.
about at the farm around maybe October. That's when I'll come. That I'll go to Europe.
Okay. So did
Mhm.
you also have a bumper harvest?
You mean bumper harvest as in sunflower?
Is that what you were growing?
Yeah, I grew some sunflower. The other day I took it for pressing and I got about 13 liters of cooking oil.
Serious?
Yes, from over 100 kilos of sunflower.
Wow.
I got 13 liters of cooking oil.
That's impressive, eh?
It's a
And
quenyu. It's a
yeah,
quenyu. It's an achievement.
sunflower doesn't need much rain, isn't it? Like it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like.
It doesn't even need fertilizer.
Mm,
Mhm. It
wow.
doesn't need much rain. We plant it at almost at the very end of the
Uh-huh.
rainy season. Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
no, it's good if it gave you that, then that's good.
Yes. I've seen the podcast. I've seen the subject.
Oh, the subjects, you've seen them, huh?
Ah, I was just wondering
Uh-huh.
the audacity, the boldness,
Uh-huh.
gentlemen, the boldness that people can have. What's behind the boldness?
Mm,
What drives? What motives do people have in their mind? Who do they have
mm, mm,
to save? What's honorable about that act?
mm.
All those questions for me, they beg answers, but no one can answer them.
Nobody.
$11 million cash.
Mm.
No,
And when
no,
we say that these guys were mafias, people say, oh, no.
no. It's an understatement. Mafias is an understatement. There were more than that.
Anyway, okay, so let's start the program. Well, even though we're already live,
Mhm.
But let's start the program, and then let's start dissecting these issues one by one. And
Okay.
as people, are going to join us, a few individuals are going to join us. So,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Of course, it's the Redtagmedia. We're broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada, and I've got my two guests. I got Hamwami, who is in Zambia, and as well I've got Basumkonde, who's also in Zambia. And we'll be talking about the most pressing issues that have happened throughout the week. So there's so many things that have been happening, and we're here to dissect them. We're here to exchange ideas, as Zambians living in the diaspora, and as well Zambians living all across the globe, and at home. So as a Zambian, we all have a say in national issues, matters of national importance. Let's give in our 2 cents and as well contribute in that way, other than just watching in the rear view and seeing everything pass us by. And of course, we'll welcome, our resident former PS, Bachanda Kazia, who is here to give us checks and balances. I don't know whether they're checks and balances or it's opinion of his own or it's I don't know how to call it, but he's here, he's joined us, and we're going to have a very interesting conversation because he's obviously here to give us different ideas or not. Now, that being said, of course, let's introduce ourselves as we continue with the program. Everybody, I think we've all seen what we're going to look at today, and we've seen the topics of the day. Vakazia, welcome to the show, and tell people where you're broadcasting live from.
Well, thank you very much. I am in New Brunswick, Canada, Fredericton, which is a provincial headquarters for New Brunswick. It's a very beautiful green province. Very nice people.
Mhm.
So that's where I am right now. For now, at least, yes.
Okay,
So
that's
that's
good.
where I'm broadcasting from. Yes.
No, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Welcome to the show. And of course, we're obviously going to have a very healthy discussion. Simukonda, just briefly tell us where you're broadcasting live. Even though I've told everybody where you're broadcasting live from, but welcome. And how are you today? Mm-hmm.
The network. Yeah.
Amwami Kawambaza.
The network. What's happening again? Hello? Can
Hello,
you
I
get
can
me
hear
now?
you. Yes, we can hear you.
Yo, so I'm Himwami
Network
Maja.
is going you.
Yeah, I'm Himwami Maja.
Yes.
I'm a Zambian by birth and descent.
Mhm.
Currently resident in Zambia at a place called Nampundwe, about 51 kilometers from Lusaka town.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's
Yes.
good to know. That's good to know. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin our show. Sumkonda just he dropped his comeback. Sumkonda, you dropped. The network is still bad, eh? I think it's still bad. It's still bad. Well, in any case, so gentlemen, the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. We also what happened. We saw, people are coining it, the PF heist. What Tambama movies if this is what was happening in Zambia, and we saw how money transferred from the Zambian coffers to Turkey and back in Zambia. And people have been held accountable for that. We've seen the people like the former Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Joseph Milanji, He's been jailed for years with hard labor. And of course, the former, permanent secretary for Treasury, abekata rupia Rwanda Rwachalo, abekata pesi ya chalo. Also, Bayamba being given 3 years. Now, the question is, how did all this happen and why? Have they only been given? People are saying it's not enough punishment for what the amount of money that was stolen from the treasury. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pose that question and let it sink in. And I think we're going to start with for the sake of connections and everything. Hamwami,
Yes.
just break everything. Let's see what are we looking at here. Is it a fair sentence, or it's unfair, or are they just being prosecuted because of they are from the opposition, or if they did something wrong?
There are certain aspects of this case that I want defined in very clear terms. As in, did Joseph Malanji steal the money? What defines theft? What is theft? And if you look at punishment, it should be an eye for an eye. And we've seen situations where someone has stolen maybe a tube of Colgate in a shop, in some ShopRite thing, or just these minor offenses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He has maybe stolen a tire, diesel from a company, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He has maybe burglary, theft, theft by public servant, that kind of thing.
Yes.
They're given him maybe 7 years, you see? Hard labor. But here's a top-notch diplomat, foreign affairs minister, access to presidential plane, $11 million in his hands, from Turkey to Zambia, found guilty, and the 4 years only. Maybe it's good that they have appealed. They have realized that 4 years was not enough. Maybe they want it increased. Maybe that's the reason they have appealed. I rest my case. Are you there? Network connections. Hello.
Mamacha, we can hear you. Maybe Wachanda is Bachirufia is Bachirufia. Can you hear Mamacha?
His network maybe also has challenges. So we are talking about a situation where before I thought maybe there was no network. That's why I decided to say
no. I was hearing you.
Oh, okay. So I'm back again. You see, we are looking at a nation that is just gaining donor confidence, where we are getting to be trusted again with the monies from other countries who get it from pension funds, invest it in Zambia. Maybe they give Zambia in form of credit, but then look at the country that which they are helping. There are thefts of $11 million. There's willful failure to account for that money in a normal way, where you even know that this is wrong, but you go ahead and authorize transactions of $11 million. And even if that transaction happened, you still go back, get that money, whatever you bought from that, we don't know.
Helicopter.
You can no. You see, helicopters for who? We're talking about people that are honorable. Someone honorable is supposed to do things that are going to have common good Huh? You're honorable. Everything about you is good. Common good. Common good for the citizens, for everyone in the country. Even including himself as a leader, he has people that serve under him. He has people that maybe he's mentoring. He's a he's a what he's a
Role model.
He's a public figure. He's a public figure. There are people that look up to him. He has children. In the civil service, he's supposed to offer distinguished and exemplary service. Now, I lose hope. I lose faith in such people. I don't know. He feels he does not inspire me anyway. I don't get inspiration from such people.
Fair enough. Vasimukonda, what's your take on the whole thing? This elephant in the room. I think we're just tapping a little bit. We're going to go really deep into this one because so many Zambians have been affected. What's your comment on this?
Thank you. And how are you, Bakazia? And welcome. And how are you, everyone?
Thank you.
Thank you. I think my take on this one, first of all, I'll start to say, I think for me, I agree with Davis Muira, what he said. I think he wanted all the PF to say, let's campaign very hard. Otherwise, if you lose, we'll go to jail. And the reason why the PF, they are worried now, that because they lost the power, they will go to jail. It's because of what they did. And numbers never lie. And you can't cheat the economy. That is what you have to understand. The economy went to negatives. This is the reason why. There's no two way about it. It went into negatives. It was growing into negatives because of this. If Malanji pocketed this amount of money, what of the others? What of the others? And he used the presidential jet to go and get the money from Turkey. So which means that presidential jet, it was authorized by who? By the president. So this is what was happening. And we expect to say the economy is going to grow. And we're going to expect that our dollar is going to be stable. And we expect that the price of Miumi will come down because of this. No. And what I can say, that's why we saw a lot of people by then, previous government, by the time go for filling station, diesel, because of this. This is where they are getting the money from. So if they are saying that it's a genuine money, why today I've never seen for 4 years now. I've never seen anyone to go to a constituency Why? Because they are not in power. And this is what we talk about. It's not mean that we hate them, no. But of course, of what was happening, the economy was not growing. There's nothing that we can say, no, we left what. No. It went into negatives. There's nothing. Even now, the problem that you are going through is because of the Malange, what they did and their friends. So now comes to the conviction that I think for me it's supposed to be 15 years and above or 10 years and above, not 4 years. I submit.
Okay, now we're going to a very interesting part here. We have Mashina Bachandagazia. Okay, Bakazia, I'm very interested to listen to what you have to say about this, because most of the opposition are saying, it's a witch hunt. Milandu, the European government is just targeting the PF, regime, but
I'm
the
back.
evidence is
I'm
there
back.
for everybody to see.
So
I'm back riding on another network now.
okay, thanks very much. Now, firstly, me, I love to go to the narratives that are very clear. When Vajo Malanja has been found guilty, is it the entire PF that has been found guilty?
No, it's not the whole
If
PF.
yes, because
The reason I posed that question about Machina is
let me just maybe you can push your turn. You
finish.
see, I'm starting with that, knowing that when people discuss the question Yaba Malanje, they are discussing the entire PF and everyone who worked with PF as to have been part of the stealing or part of the looting or part of any problem that was happening within within the country at the time. That won't say we are all thrown in there. Because you could hear and you could see the comments that, oh, this is how the PF was. This is what was there. And including bringing in back to say, oh, so when this happened, the one who authorized, like Wasumkonde, is Edgar Lungu. He authorized. Now, as to if he authorized, it's a question of, oh, Wasumkonde is thinking and feeling that Edgar Lungu should have authorized that Kayen Msende in the Ramesh Wasendere without any form of proof. But in Zambia, that is what it is. Now, me, I don't have any problem with fighting corruption, getting the assets forfeit. I do not have a problem. I only have a problem the way it is done. The way it is done leaves very much to be desired. And that is what is causing the problem of saying the other people are being targeted. Vamalanji, we are talking about 8 million, isn't it? $11 million, isn't it? That's the money that we are talking about. But just last year, we had $80 million that someone sent to China by mistake. $80 million. That conversation cannot even find itself being discussed. We had 50 million worth of drugs going missing, someone stealing them. That conversation, we had someone stopping a case of $2 billion offshore transfer by Kansashi to Panama. Those things cannot be discussed. We have had someone meet at Katondo Street and all of a sudden he owns a mine. Now they are millionaires. And these are matters that are very keen, that when we treat Vamalanji in the way he's been treated in terms of the investigation, prosecution, yes, he has a right, he's going to appeal. Even if I have questions around the whole prosecution and conviction itself, I wanted to read the judgment, looking at the heads of argument and everything else, because I wanted to hear what who the pilot was. On the manifest, who was there? I wanted to see what was the pilot's statement, who flew this plane from Zambia to Turkey and back with the so-called $11 million being taken. What did he see? I would want to see that, and then I would probably be convinced. But of course, it's the court that has decided. So the court has decided, they have decided on their own merit, they've seen what is there, and then they've made a decision. I can't argue much with that. But I have a serious problem the way Vayamba has been treated. Where is the permanent secretary for Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Because procurement is not done by the Secretary to Treasury. Procurement, those rules of procurement are done at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs by the controlling officer. Because I was one such a controlling officer in the Ministry of Labor, and you usually got a letter from Secretary to Treasury to appoint you as a controlling officer. Even when there are two permanent secretaries, there's one who is the controlling officer who makes sure that the finances of the ministries are done like that and the procurement systems are going there. So I feel like Bayamba is prosecuted for doing his job. And then there are so many questions, procedural questions that can be asked the conviction Yabayamba. And I see that the conversation by you colleagues, you're not even touching it. But we are forgetting that here is a seasoned civil servant who has now been taken to say, oh, he abrogated the procedure. What procedure? What does it amount to? Was it done deliberately? Who else was advising him? Where the permanent secretary in terms, even the budget? There's a permanent secretary in charge of the budget. What did he say? Was he a witness in this kind of transaction? So there are a lot of questions around the conviction Yavayamba, which I think it must send a signal to even the current secretary to Treasury that he is on the line. He might have the same problem coming in future when the moment UPND is out. He is facing the same thing that Wayamba has faced because of some of these transactions I've told you. When he has given you the money as a ministry, he doesn't come in the ministry to come and control where you're taking the money. That is not his business. Because there's a procurement team that sits in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Where are the procurement notes? Where are those minutes? Where this was approved? Was it not approved? Let's see some more details around it. So for me, yes, the fight for corruption must be enhanced, but it must be also fairly done to everybody. When we question about 80 million all of a sudden missing $80 million into China from ZESCO, nobody talks about it. It's just going wow, quiet. No one even talks about investigating it. We talk about 50 million drugs there. The US ambassadors, no, it's quiet there. We don't know who got what of the $50 million that went missing. We don't know how much people got when they stopped the $2 billion law case. So this is it's a good process in terms of stopping corruption, which we all must be able to fight and say this corruption must be fought. But it must be done fairly, very fairly. Some of the questions being asked to say, Malanje had belonged to a company and it was only done from 2000 to date. Did this company have capacity to buy the 2 helicopters? Some people are saying yes. So anyway, let's look at what the appeal is going to come to and all that. But stealing of any kind is not good. It is not right to steal public funds. It's not good. And I think we all must rally behind the government when they fight corruption. But we must also rebuke them when they apply it selectively. And they say, but why are you not looking also at this? So my opinion about it is that, yes, we must intensify it, but it must be done very, very, very fairly to everybody, showing that no one is above the law. That is how my contribution to that is.
Okay, nice one. But Dr. Danny, welcome. Are you there, but Danny? Oh, he has dropped off. Are you there, Dr. Danny? You look like you're there. Maybe you're muted. Unmute yourself. So, well, good submissions are from everybody, but I think we need to understand one thing. Like Bakazia is saying, we're not mentioning Vayamba. Well, we mentioned him, and we've just started the topic anyway. So he's going to be mentioned because, of course, he holds the pace and he signs on those things. So when you sign, okay, and certain things, that's why you see when people say that the Patriotic Front was a corrupt government, because the procedures were not really followed. He was pressured into this deal. If we just look at it overall, it's not his decision, but he was given strict instructions. And these instructions were coming from who? The boss.
Where are you getting that from?
Okay? The instructions were coming from the boss. Because there's
Where are
no
you
way.
getting that from?
No, but there's no way.
I'm asking
He
a
can,
question. Where are you
there's
getting that?
no way he can just do things like that without following proper procedures. Because the procedures were not followed. I agree on that one. There's certain procedures that need to be followed.
Where are you getting that from?
Because there's no way he can just wake up in the morning and just connive with Malanji by Bidifi. No, these instructions were strict from above. In any case, in any case, Machina, for somebody to use the presidential jet, can you, as a permanent secretary, presidential jet? Where does the authority? No. Answer this question.
Answer that, yes.
Where does the authority come from?
I want to
use the
answer
presidential jet?
And I want to answer that in the following way.
Mm.
That is why in there's a channel of things that are missing missing links, that answers are not being provided before you go to where we are thinking the ultimate instruction came from. What is the people that have been given legislative power by the law, not by the president or by the minister or by anybody, by the law? How are they themselves out of this equation? Why are we not asking them? Because there's where it starts from. It's like when you say, oh, there were instructions. So are you telling me that this instruction of someone making $80 million by HH is aware? Are you telling me that my HH is aware of the 50 million stealing? He's part of it. He instructed someone to mistakenly send the money to China.
That's different. It's
not different. It's the same authority.
It's a simple question. Can somebody, since you are a former PS, can you just wake up in the morning to say, presidential jet? I just want you to answer me correctly. Because presidential jet, not about that presidential.
Okay. Jet. The presidential jet is a national asset.
So anybody can just wake up in the morning.
So that you can just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going for presidential jet. You can have a program, but you can use it for criminal intent without the president knowing until Wakuikata. Because you can say, could agent matter that requires my presence in Geneva right now, and the president is aware. Walonga mama drugs wire. So you will be held accountable by your own actions. It doesn't spread to the other person who you think has the responsibility. For instance, when you're permanent, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. When you choose to do what is wrong, you are held accountable by your own actions. Because na permanent secretary, when my director, in fact, I'll give an example. I was labor commissioner. A labor officer went somewhere to go and get money, but he got permission from me that in their inspection. So nimupela instruction yaku inspection. How is that? How am I part of it? Because going for an inspection is part of his legislative function. But corruption, when he's there, is not part of his job. When he is caught, you can't say, obviously, in our commission, nobody.
Okay.
Hold the person accountable.
That's a whole different scenario. Now, here specifically, we're talking about the presidential jet. What was so urgent for Malanje to use a presidential jet? What was so urgent?
I don't know. Do you know yourself?
Because, what was the reason for him to go to Turkey? Is to go and buy what? Okay,
let's go to that. There are things that you and me can only speculate.
This is a fact. It's in court. Document.
Yes, I'm a document. There's nowhere where it's saying like that.
Nobody mentioned the Balungu.
There is nowhere, because the ultimate boss from the minister, there's no one else here. It's a president. You understand that? So when you say,
so meaning that the president has to authorize, according to what you're saying, the president has to authorize somebody to use a presidential jet, right?
No, let me clear your mind and others that are listening.
I want to know. I want to
Yes.
know.
So here is how it works. The use of any public property, including the plane itself, a presidential jet, has rules.
Mhm.
Now, those rules, if you meet the criteria of using it, you can use it. That's why remember nevachanda kuti vamutumira presidential jet yasamusenda from Canada and take you to Zambia, depending on what the president wants you to do or
Also,
what
the president.
listen.
Keyword,
Stop,
keyword president.
stop interrupting. You're not listening. Mamona,
Go ahead.
the president knowing that you're going to
Mhm.
use the presidential jet, there's a high likelihood that you will know that you're using the presidential jet. But if you choose to commit crime in the presidential jet, it is not on the president, it is on you. The mayor, and I'm giving you an example that in a labor commission, I'm gonna do my labor inspector to go and inspect. And in the process, I become criminality. It is on him alone, it doesn't extend to me. And that's the same thing. Them pay example about by HH. Uliawapangira 8 million transaction. Yeah, ku China. Emovali.
Anyway,
If we use the same language, then we know that he is part of whatever I said here.
okay.
And if he's part
Let's
of
see.
it,
Okay.
and the friend was part of that, then what is wrong with it?
Okay. Before we dive deep into it, Danny, are you available now to put your submissions? Mr. Dr. Danny, are you there? Mr.
He's not there.
No, it's not. So, Wahamwami. Okay. No. Wakazia, let's do this. Let's give other people, especially from Zambia, to give submissions. Wahamwami, who authorizes or can somebody use a presidential jet without the knowledge of the president? It's a simple question. Want to know, how things work? Can somebody just wake up and go as a minister using the presidential jet? Here, let's remove the criminality, whether there was a criminal transaction, but authorization of using a presidential jet. Mr. Imwami, are you there? Network na issue, Pavantu. We have a issue. Network is troubling people today.
Na issue pa network bachanda. I hope vale umfwa. Na badani yabashupira kumuchabi panomba.
So daddy was the drop out.
Vale ku Puerto Rico, vale swimming, vale fishing.
It's busy. So that's what I was saying. Like, okay, if what you gave an example, you're saying now if you send somebody, when you're a labor commission, when that person commits that crime, it doesn't mean that okay, they agree with you. But when it comes to things like a presidential jet, because even the transaction itself, the main reason Ochobaile could take it, property. So now the question is, how much was that property worth? And how much money was it removed from the Zambian treasury to go and buy that property? Because looking at all the evidence and all the court documents, it is said only one property was bought. Only one property was bought. Okay? And that property was about $1 million plus. But the amount of money taken out of the purse was close to about 7 million. Okay? Now, that money was done what? Was brought back to Zambia. And it disappeared. So that's where the question mark is. Okay? But Dr. Danny, are you back now? Are you ready to give your submission?
I've been here in the background asking to say, let me talk.
No, you're muted. You're muted.
I was muted?
Yeah, we couldn't hear anything.
I was hearing my friend Chandagazia giving a lecture there.
I'm waiting for yours, Badan. I'm waiting for your lecture.
It's now your time. Give us your submission on this issue. We've just started tackling it.
Give us your
lecture.
First of all, the whole idea of sending a presidential jet under the table, under the middle of the night, out of the country without anyone knowing, with the Malangis to go and haul bags and bags of money, cash. Just that idea of not doing financial transactions through the banking system. You go there, you go there and Fiola to go and pack cash. Just that idea. Nobody does that other than a thief, a criminal. Only criminals do that. So the fact that they went there to get 11 million cash, there's no normal human being on this planet. All the people of money on this planet, they don't do that. Only drug dealers and bad guys do that. So that's on its own is a bad thing. You can't. So the intention was to steal. That's number one. So Malanji wanted to steal. Number two, Vayamba. I don't know, you remember this thing started a long time ago, and they were asking Vayamba, when he was getting the normal procedure of allocating money to ministries, you have to go through the parliament. That's why I push. Vayamba, when you are giving this money to Minister of Foreign Affairs, did you tell parliament whatever Katwishi parliamentary chakutio? Ati no. Why? No. It means someone gave you my idea. Don't ignore the process. Just give. That's why Bayamba is in trouble. If Bayamba had followed the procedure of being transparent, me, I'm the secretary of the treasury, whatever, I'm about to give this money to Minister of Foreign Affairs. I sign here, Naba parliamentary, whatever, Wawashita oversee spending, Navina Wachita sign. Bayamba wasn't going to be in trouble. So Bayamba also acted as a criminal. He knew what he was doing for not informing the normal channels of going to Parliament. And therefore, Minister of Foreign Affairs in Dalamesh, Parliament didn't know that he had allocated that amount to Minister of Foreign Affairs. But he normally does that. Every time he's allocating money somewhere, he tells parliamentary whatever overseers, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. But this time, he said no. Mamona, that's why he's in trouble. I was listening to you at why is he being prosecuted? Because he deliberately didn't want to tell anybody under the table, Minister of Foreign Affairs. That's wrong. So he knew what he was doing. In the case, that plane has been seen in very, very dark corners. If you are able to, it has been seen in Swaziland with the young girls. It has been seen in somewhere with it's bad. It's wrong. So when we say PF government,
okay.
when we say PF government, when a leader himself, the head of the government, definitely knew where his presidential jet was, he allocated that, he knew what Malanji was doing. I don't want to mention names here, but I even know the permanent secretary himself. We were talking about the Minister of Foreign Affairs myself. And at that time, also, he was a little bit implicated, but I think he exonerated himself for that role he played there. Okay? Because I'm told he was actually the one who was carrying the bags full of money. He was the one who was actually, nobody was allowed to carry that other than the three of them. So
so the PS was carrying the money and is not an accomplice.
I don't know, but I know at that moment, you remember it was public knowledge. He's the one who traveled at that time, was based. He was not yet in Zambia, he was based in Germany. And he's the one who traveled to Turkey at that time and did the carrying of money. That was in the court of law. It was public knowledge. It was there when the case was being discussed at that time. At that time. Okay?
You see what, Danny?
It's there. You want the article? You want
first of all, I don't know what you see. You are talking like I'm arguing that Taparifi Arubeni.
You are first of all, you defended Bayamba.
Bayamba never defend up to now, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm saying I'm going
you
to
had your chance.
I'm saying go ahead, finish. I'm going to answer you on Bayamba. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So Bayamba didn't follow the procedure of telling Parliament why. You are giving millions to the minister or whatever to go and buy a house in Turkey. You are not telling Parliament. Why did Bayamba do that? Why? That was an intention to steal that money together with Malanje. Okay? So Malanje, everyone knows is guilty. There's no two. Actually, to me, 4 years is too little. I wanted to come at 10, 15, so that these politicians know that it's wrong to abuse their offices. 15 is on 15 Kasako. 4 years. So him, if he doesn't even argue, he knows that he was stealing broad daylight, broad day. He was stealing. He doesn't. Yeah.
I like that, Wadani. I like the way you're talking about people stealing, and that is why I was saying it is okay to follow up and jail, but
can I finish?
Right.
1 more minute.
All right,
Finish. Okay. So these guys, they really and you buy 2 helicopters. What you try to hide them? He was trying to hide them. He tried to change names, hiding one in Zimbabwe, one is there. Well, come on, Malanji. Eh? They went through his when he brought that money in Zambia. Did you see what he was doing? He knew that the banks are gonna question the deposit. He was depositing 1 million. Is 1 million? 1,000. 1,000. Is it 10, 100,000, whatever? Every week. Banka shows the banks. Malanji knew he was stealing. Malanji knew when he brought that money in Zambia, he started cashing out. People were saying about it. That's when he gained his name. he earned that name because I started dishing them.
Bonanza.
Yeah. You go to his house, you come back with $10,000. Bonanza, cash bonanza. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. At cash bonanza. That's when he started. This is evidence in court. A witness is saying that. But bundles. $dollars. So anyway, so that's the thing. When we say why I was trying to talk about the government, why we're saying it's PF, the whole PF, it's because most likely 99.9% Lungu knew what was happening here. There's no way you can get a presidential jet from and authorize that and blah blah blah. Indalama shaingira, Malanje ingira, nindalama duffel bags full of money in country. You as the president, don't you know? And remember what the debt say. They haven't recovered all the money.
No.
The 11 million. They haven't yet recovered it, which means to me that was a share about Lunguidia. That's why they will not recover all the money. Because when
but Danny, not to cut you short. This was just his commission.
Yes.
The big chunk went to the boss. The big chunk went to the boss. It's just a tip of a nice way. That was his commission.
Yes.
For doing that operation.
I'm telling you that
was his commission.
Whole scandal is Lungu. May his soul rest in peace.
So say that in assuming if you that is exactly what was happening. And then I flip the current scenario which is happening.
That's a discussion for tomorrow.
You cannot tell me that I shouldn't discuss it. This is
it's not on the agenda.
But
not on the agenda.
No, Danny, excuse me. I'm going to talk about it in relation to what we are talking about, because if you're talking about corruption and stealing, which happened, and what we are also experiencing now. You cannot come and tell me, no, we should land up. I'll talk about it. You just if you have no answers, you just keep quiet if you have no answers. I'm going to give you with facts there. And every reason known fact. Excuse me, you had your chance, you talked. So don't prescribe how I should talk.
No, don't prescribe how I should talk.
No.
He was talking, nobody interrupted with him.
Yeah, but when I wanted to you interrupted yourself.
Vamashina, your time will come.
No, but therefore, how I should discuss, and I'm choosing there. I'm saying no.
Let him finish his point.
I thought
if you want to come back and put your submission, you'll be able to do that.
Okay, if Dan is still talking, I'll keep quiet until he's done. So, but then if I want to continue talking, I'll keep quiet. When I start talking, you should keep quiet and don't prescribe how I should discuss, please.
Okay. Now, moderator,
Yeah.
in the first place, I don't know whether we want us to add more things, more items. It looks like we are going to add more items to the agenda, is it? So we should add more topics or not?
Yes, we're going to add more topics. In fact, we're going to
because here we are now starting talking about
but Danny, but if you prescribe how I want to respond.
No. Okay. This is not the only topic of the day.
But I want to talk about if you need to learn about corruption.
Yes.
That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this.
I want to give an example.
Okay.
So I don't know how Danny has already known what I want to talk about.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Let's round up the whole conversation. You know, we're gonna give each other at least a good 2 or 3 minutes to give our last submission on this topic, and then we move ahead. But if there's need for us to come back, we can always come back. But we need to give chance to other topics. But here's the thing: we also have people from Zambia who want to join us and talk. So, Bahamwami, you know, for the sake of the, you know, connections, Nefia Ashala, Bahamwami, are you there? Are you listening? Are you joined us today, or are you? Can you jump in real quickly? Oh, I think network is a problem. Okay, so Vakazia, give us your submission on this one, and let's wind up on this one. Let's wind up, because this is the topic that can take the whole day.
Yes, and you see, me, I was about to speak about the issues to do with how money in Zambia is like Malanji is one of the many things that are even happening now, where mulelanda tibalungu bali kwete kachati bali kwete mukachati. Here is an example. Zesco erroneously transferred $80 million. That money, China has never commented on it. So why it went to China, no one knows. How it went there, how it could be erroneously done, who did that? So it means there is no way $80 million can find itself in China without Nkulukusa knowing. And who did that? Without the Minister of Finance knowing, and the President. In and I want to repeat this, I've been telling you, the moment you want to think about a criminality done by one person and you extend it to the entire group, you should also be knowing that when the example is going to be given on the current scenario, it is going to affect the president and the entire UPND to the same extent. You are not going to, you speak in generalities. And then when your friends want to give examples about the generalities, say, no, he's not involved. No. If you are going to use the example of the generalities, you must also be ready to receive the generalities in the examples. On this forum, it's not the first time I've told you. As long as if one person commits a crime or is in trouble, then we go and zone everybody to that crime. That the criminality in Zambia cannot stop, because a person will know that he's not on his own when he's committing a crime. Other people who are not part of it are going to be dragged in. The president, who we don't have information about, he gave this instruction. Obviously, what document do you have that instruction was given? Or has anyone within the prosecution established that the instruction came from the other person? Or it is an opinion that you are giving? No, if it's an opinion that you are giving, you are right to give yours, and I shouldn't discuss that opinion or have a different object. I can just have my opinion to say the way I see it, and to accuse you because it will be my opinion as well, the same level that you're doing it. So for me, if Malanji is in trouble for having done what he did, and there is a court procedures, we must hold him accountable alone. We can't bring the entire PF and throw it on Malanji. And then when it is UPN, then is he 80 million yaile ku China. Then I should also bring the entire UPN that look at how corrupt they are. 80 million mistakenly yaingira ku China no watu 3 wamwishiba. Ba UPN ndimwe wakabwala la mwali ba 80 million dollars. Is that a fair assessment of the UPND? No, there is an individual who must be held accountable. $50 million worth of drugs here. There must be an individual held accountable. So hold accountable. We must avoid to bring the entire group in.
Okay.
You don't just go anyhow shooting everywhere.
Okay. No,
Like
I think I think there's nobody who's disagreeing with that point. But the fact of we're looking at facts, and things that are plain and simple and straightforward. There's no way we can argue with them. And when all this thing was presented in court, when he was asked, how he acquired 2 helicopters and ABCD and all those things, he couldn't account for the money. So these are facts.
Yeah.
These are facts in the courts of law, and there's no way you can say, "Oh no, because I've been working for the last 10 years, I got my gratuity." Those are the same issues that even led even Bowman Lusambo in prison.
They use the same argument. I've been working. That was my gratuity. That's my gratuity.
Because how much is in fact, here's the thing. Let's not even go far. Vakazia gratuity yakwa full minister. Put your stendeke. Can it buy an helicopter?
2 helicopters.
No.
Just asking me, but you see, Moneni, ngamula pusha question. Mulai pusha question kwa chimule pusha grade 2 that can this no pusha question.
We just want
to answer. I'll answer
for the sake of the public.
Yes, for the sake of the public, I'll answer a few things about gratuity and what may constitute what a person can buy. For instance, I'll give myself an example that I worked for 28 years in public service. What is my worth for 28 years that I worked? Mamona? And then, if I'm paid the full pension, what can I do with my full pension in so many years? Mind you, Malanji, yes, there could be issues that people can come and say, but ngachakwe but if the only source of income wakwete ni parliament na pension ni graduate fumakulia, he cannot buy a plane. Get istendeke. Limbi na motoka ini kuti yakwatapo problem kuishita. Mamona? Ngachakwe but the only thing he did is what? Is just go akachelo wabwela. Waya kunjito wabwela. You do not own anything else. But Malanji was a businessman even before he went into parliament. Now, what I have not heard, which I would love to see, is what is he worth for the time he has been in business to the time he has been in parliament.
Good question. Good question.
What is he worth and who has decided that? No, I'm just giving an example. If we're going to use our own estimation of a person that what if you're a permanent secretary? So we say not knowing that Kazia likele from Canada, abomba, abwele mu Zambia, achitamwa kutamwa kutata invest pension yakwe, achitamwa so ale kulusenda lama. But of course it yashitendeke. Ngana abasanga Kazia nashitendeke lo yes there will be questions that wafunya kuisenda lama because my total value cannot buy that. But the question is that does Malanji's entire life reduced to 4 years from 2020 to 2025 mwamuchita investigate hapa mwamuikata mwamukaka. Now it is okay ngachakwa tinaiva mwamuchita prosecute mwamukaka and everything else. I have told you to say if it is established, there's nothing I can come and no we mukata mukakeni according to the points that you found there and the things that are there. But if you are assessing Malanji the entire life of him as a businessman tied to the political office, can he manage Indeke helicopter 100,000 I'll tell you, yes, he
It
can.
wasn't 100,000, by the way.
$1 million. Let me give an example.
1.2 million.
Yes, I'll even
Dollars.
say, can Malanji from his entire time he started, can he afford the $2 million worth of Ndeke? I would say yes. Because I'm telling you, because I have seen what the mine contractors get. Mine contractors there,
Was he a mine contractor?
yes, he has been. You didn't know that?
No, me, I know that he had done lodges.
Yes,
A failed lodge.
moneni bachanda ni momo lebikapo ifinte futa mwashana assess.
No, because according to the internet, in fact, I can even go by, even what about Shimbakamgiri was saying. It's there on the internet. Yes.
No, what
was very critical. But anyway, his lodge was not worth the sort of a lodge. It can be bringing him, for example, $10,000 every month.
I have given you. You asked me about my opinion. So I'm saying, if I assessed, yes, even you, what you are giving is an opinion. You're not giving any facts because you have not gone in at personal level to go and see this. Mamona, you are relying.
I'll come back to that, but let's go quickly about Danny. I'll come back to that. Let's go quickly about Danny.
Anyway.
Well, Malanji, we shouldn't even be debating about Malanji's word. Malanji was stealing and he stole from the Zambian people. Right there. That's it. Let's not even start Chapwa. We don't even have to start. Oh no, yeah, he was a contractor. He was what? The guy was a thief, and he has been found guilty. And he goes with bags to go and buy a helicopter. Who goes with bags of money to go and buy a helicopter? Fiola, duffel bags. I don't know. It came from my mining contractor. But I'm paying cash. One mining contractor, my brand new notes.
I'm a Ukwa bag.
I'm a Ukwa bag full of money. I don't know. I was a contractor for 25 years. That guy stole. He didn't have enough money to buy those helicopters. Even throughout his life, he couldn't afford that.
$200,000 cash. Mwahamba nokupokolola imwebelo. Isindalama tashipitire mu bank. There was no evidence of it. What did you guys say?
We can't protect.
You see,
we can only talk about
standards.
No, we can only talk about issues that have gone through the courts of law.
Yes.
And then the Zambian justice system is not stupid. They are not people who don't investigate. According to the investigations, Pama court documents, they are there online. It shows that Milanje Muma bank accounts before he went to Turkey, he didn't have enough money even to buy a house.
He was in red.
Okay, he was in debt. So after that Turkey, when you arrived Turkey hist, you know back when hist ya kuteki. He formed
the 3 other companies within 3 days. Fake ones. And they supply something to Congo. What? Yeah, fake. He
was trying to clean up the money.
Yes.
But they give me a lot of respect. Yes. Because they ate.
Bally, yeah.
You see? Bonanza. He was not called Bonanza for nothing.
Bonanza. Anyway, so
those are the court documents. Evidence is there. He didn't have enough money. He didn't have, money I got much to substantiate. But after the Turkey hist, that's when he had money. That's when he bought those 2 helicopters. That's when he even improved his homes. But him is just a tip of an iceberg because that was just his commission.
And when a minister is doing that, what for the president? That's what we're talking about, the government of PF. There's no way Malanji could have been doing that alone. That's why when a Bowman Lusambo everybody was stealing. That's it. That was the culture of the government. Anyway, God answered our prayers. But anyway, so the thing is, me, as far as I'm concerned, these guys were thieves, and to me, the sentencing was not enough. I wished they're given more. Anyway, that's my conclusion.
Yeah, I think also that's my conclusion. And I'm just receiving some information here that actually the money that was removed actually was supposed to buy 11 houses and an embassy building. Okay, but only $300,000 was spent to purchase the current embassy. Only 300 out of the whole money. Yeah. Okay, so they came up with a scheme to say, okay, we want money to go and buy 11 houses and an embassy. So when that money was calculated, they calculated everything, they put the money together. That was the money that was transferred from the treasury to Turkey, whatever. But when it was time to buy those 11 houses, they were not bought. Only embassy which is worth $300,000. That's how much that embassy is in Turkey. $300,000. Now, what about the rest? Share with. Who's got the chunk of the money? Because just like I'm saying, that was just his commission. Who has the chunk of the money?
You see. Imwe bomoneni imwe. Fyafine mulela ndapo efidia. Tafyapwana nomba bachiri baleyi babali mu government.
There are no facts. We have facts.
There are facts right now because you cannot answer them. I have given you questions here. You cannot answer them. I gave you number one. I said $80 million. Mistakenly, yeah.
Where is your fact?
What are you telling me? What are you talking about him?
Where's your fact?
You are done him.
Where's your fact?
50 million US ambassador Landa na muiva. You see, you want to pretend like you are not angel. You are doing exactly even worse at what Malanja Mulemu Katla $11 million, $80 million na here. You stopped $2 billion from Panama by Kansanshu.
Those are just your...
You made a company. What are you talking about? Don't talk like this government is of angels. You saw a $200,000. What happened?
There are no facts. Those are speculations.
Do you ever agree to things that you do wrong?
They are facts. They are
saying that these are facts that there was a camera with money there, and this is not facts.
Did you know what was inside?
Mwaringira mukoti jaji kulya mwaliisha bajaji. What can a person do? Just keep quiet. $80 million yaringira pa China and there are no facts. It is there. Zesco agreed. Nkulukusa agreed. Who are you to come and say no? Tapani facts. What facts would you want?
Okay.
Okay. And then go fimbi tumfwe not ifima bufimule fokula panga hapa na.
Yeah. So in fact, he needs to at least give you some commission, you know. Support. You know, he needs to give at least the ability share.
Commission ya 80 million ya hapa China. Hilo nene muka senje wapali commission. Commission. That's why you don't want even to discuss it. That's why Danny is quiet. Maybe walingisha moka commission muli na Danny.
Yeah. So Chimochin earlier she that even drops down to Lusambo then. Same issue, same thing. Umuntu, at I was a business as a huge businessman, as a well-known businessman. Abantu abamuishi Lusambo, but he wasn't a huge businessman. It's never been a barrier where you can put Pama levels. But these are huge business people. Okay, he wasn't there. It's not on that caliber. You know, even when it's Chimbakambiri, we can call them, but yes, these people were business people because Valesa Plama mine and they had the contracts with the mines. But Avena Bowman Lusambo, no. For him to own a house, Sunga Tumpombo, Nama Zebra Panganda. But oh, nah.
That's why we go. That's why we say the whole government was full of thieves.
You are lying, but Danny. There is not. Are you telling me? The entire UPND is full of thieves as well.
Minister wa munani kare wa mu UPND unless let's talk about it.
Look at the way you have gone. Gold turns into copper overnight. So gold turning into copper overnight. And you think people are stupid? You see, this is one of the biggest problems that is we are facing as a country. Is the failure to say this is wrong. If PF did that, it is wrong. If Malanje did it, it is wrong. If Bowman did it, it's wrong. If Kawuso does it, is wrong. If someone takes 80 million into China without it, it's wrong. Let's hold each other accountable beyond the partisan line, whereby Imwapa, the only thing you see wrong is from the PF. Even if you want to praise and worship, get some level of objectivity in that.
Okay, not to
$80 million
It is the only government where the president was telling his ministers and his civil servants to steal. The government in the history of Zambia.
You see, the failure of you understanding what the Bemba idioms mean. This is one of the biggest that you have progressed. Let me get
na Bemba proverb vyapusana. Vyapusana sana because valungu baebera abantu babo jebere mwe bantu
akubeni
according to the way mwe bantu aba stashani aba bomba mwibala ba stashani
bali mwibala.
He told them to steal.
That is not true, Danny. You are making up things. I don't know why you find it. How do you manipulate information and create a narrative that doesn't exist?
Is there. I think there was
I want to explain to you. If you can allow me to explain to you what I understood. And then you can interpret in the way you want. So far. If you want, you can continue with your false narrative. That's fine, according to me. Does not mean you steal. When you work in the farm, you will eat the produce of the farm. You are not going to eat the produce of a school. For working there. When you work with government, you'll be paid by government. You eat from government. About 40,000 teacher. Badia government because they are government employees. No, mama, talk
about Imbuto. Talk about Imbuto.
So what do you understand by Imbuto?
He continued. He talked about Mule.
Yes, he Imbuto. Said meaning don't kill what is producing. What you eating?
He said but don't steal everything.
Meaning that you cannot eat what produces for future. You can't do that. Imbuto seeds.
So let's talk about Minister of Finance. I'm a permanent secretary. My president is telling me, muibala mubomba mu minister of finance akujeni muli amwine aufeni but aiko no kuikishisha vyonse.
But
what does it mean to a permanent secretary in the minister of
let
finance?
me tell you what it means, because in your distorted mind and the mind of criminality mune tontonga adadi wati alekwe bati upose kwa mano to the treasury. Even as we give you the money, you will eat the money that we are giving you, salary, graduate, and everything. But don't dip yourself in the money you have taken. That is what he's telling you. With your manipulative language. Mwafipiribula, mwayambo kupanga nefishiripo.
Atakujeni.
Ati imwe, awe.
Achandagazia interpretation yenu yawe.
Anyway, it was well known.
He was talking to people who are on graduate. I'm a graduate.
Tell me, you see, Radan, Imwe you can choose, because these are choices that people make. You have chosen to say this is how you're interpreting it, and I have chosen that this is how I'm interpreting it.
Anyway,
and when you use it and it works for you, people can buy it. But
anyway, no,
you are the only one in Zambia who has that interpretation.
No, you are the only one who also in Zambia who is thinking like that.
Anyway, on this one, I don't even want to touch much because the person that said it is now dead. You know, so we can't dwell on it a lot. But the fact of the matter remains.
The opinion.
Okay, Avena Lusambo. And they deserve to go in prison because why? They dip their fingers into the cookie jar, and it's well documented. It's well known. Now you can imagine.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Iriana nika video mwale ipushapo. Ati ndefu nkamone video opo alera ndati ndalama shafu makuli bakateka. Na alimi tumina.
Yes, I'm going to speak to that. In fact, that's why I even responded.
And you know why? In fact, I didn't want to cut it. I just wanted to give you the way it was.
Yes.
The way it was in a video. I mean, okay? Ukuyala that in an area kuli bakateka na be pusha. Njere turefa mutukulire ko market. Now you can imagine how unprofessional that sounds.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there's no way you can go to the head of state and say, "Oh, I want a market to be built in my constituency." If we banani kane ba PF bapatira ba UPND, because by UPND they've come up with proper policies and procedure on how to do things. One CDF program. Tamwamone bakabuswe olobanani kane bamwitwa elosande chanda aya mkuno kinga padoya yaba HHT therefore aya market no he knows their channels. He has to go kunani kane kuikala ku committee kulya baikala awe bane not kwatenda la meshi as CDF they can do so in a proper way, not that in the, did you see that money? So ati
bale pela bani
indalama eshi shafu makuli bakate bani ero batambo kula iforesha
bani
imwe tamwe abaike prani ba PF beka
you see
UPND kutaimini na pali ba PF
ngamulefo kuna pali procedure imwe ati omwe kwata sana order umuntu etia kuti ba president umuntu alafuma mu office straight mu office ya ba president ayamkulira ati mufeni ifo balenje bati ni kwati ifu mudye straight afu ayingira mu ba president ayambo kulanda
no mama
example ya procedure
everything where has gone now.
Yes, because munana pali procedure ndema ati procedure ukuya mkulombe mpya kwa president, any person, any member of parliament, ministers, they do that. Let me tell you why. I'm brought that to give an example to say people can go to ask for anything from the president. Ministers do that. And I never report the president. The problem Mumona Kwati, you have come to throw the presidency like this is a superhuman being. He is not, he's a servant. He is our servant. We must be able to access him. If a
Even
person
him
has
says it.
included,
Even him says it.
yes, but the point, why are you saying that no? If what muntu ashireti kuti vaechechi mukulombe ndalama kuti hayo angalifana
Okay, not in the manner that Banani can look. Here's
how are you prescribing the manner yourself?
No, but it's what happened. He said
the question is that there's nothing wrong.
Said, I went kuri bakateka.
Is that wrong?
Yes, there's nothing wrong. But what was wrong is this: he was given cash money, hardcore cash. Ndinda meshi ichisakechi boom kama pera abantu bona.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on earth there's something like that happen. Mwavula fe kashi aneni kakava pere. Oh.
Naba nani mwamba balepera badorini mwamba tamale munoko bafumishe cash balepera abantu pa market ati imwe nombe shindalama sha social cash transfer akufoleshe ntamwa mwene ko imwe
kula ba mana
badorini mwamba
kwali ba konderanga kola ba aba social cash transfer na bena balekala mu committee balekala mu constituent.
That's under. I do not, as a public servant, I don't want to see that happen. I would tell you straight away, because Bowman and everything else. Even if the money might have been genuine, but probably there should be done in a different way. And number two, which you never said, is that Bowman was very clear with the youth that this money is not just for PF. Social now UPND is for every marketeers that were there. But if you choose to say, oh, Ireland, if and make that which he didn't say, there's nothing I can say.
Yeah. So what I can tell you is this: Chimone Nachida sometimes offer chava is very common in the companies in Zambia, but start advertising chito, but nishna vengi. So Bowman Lusambo. So Avena Bowman Lusambo. That time when they were in power, there's no way on earth, heaven or hell, a UPND can sit near by PF party. You saw how the copper belt was towards by UPND. Vale bakonka na kumanda. Ngatwakusanga niwe UPND kukupuma. Vale bapuma ba UPND vale abafisa mafi.
Bonse mwale puma na vale puma.
We. There's no way by UPND kuti vaya.
What are you talking about?
Atiba Bowman Lusambo na besoku. Kavieni pa market by UPND. Ba Bowman Lusambo vale mifwaya vale po kumepere ndalama. That's a joke of the year. Okay, so he was just saying that just for face because quality media. For the sake of the media, he was an option but to say that. But deep down he knew, even if my guys if I care about you see? When you work for UPND, you know, nobody. So that closes that issue. Now we go to the next issue. I want to learn that AMA university students, they are now cadres. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I would rather the students are happy than they are demonstrating. Because if you look at the past governments, the Unza students were always demonstrating, causing havoc, greatest road, that was the order of the day, especially in the PF regime. Because one, there were not enough bursaries, there were no scholarships, there wasn't enough meal allowance, so they were causing havoc. But a lot of people, their cars were destroyed in Greatest Road. Who's students? That was the order of the day. But when did you last see that? You don't see that. So I would rather I see them happy marching to State House to say thank you, Mr. President, for giving us meal allowance. Thank you, Mr. President, for building us new hostels. That's what I would like to see. Dr. Danny, you've been too quiet.
Yeah, don't feel like I'm an analyst.
What do you think about the Unza students going to State House?
Unza students are just appreciating it's like day and night. They've seen what the life they are living now and the life they lived under PF. There were so many challenges for them. There were no scholarships, enough scholarships. There was no anybody looking at the sanitation issue is being sorted out. Accommodation, it's Mwanawansa who last laid the foundation for those things and nobody completed it. Up to the whole PF regime didn't even touch the hostels issue for the University of Zambia. None, zero. So Mwanawansa started the process and they kept quiet by PF. Bally yes in the they PF anyway. So the students have seen the change. First of all, the meal allowance was huge. You can't take away the meal allowances from these kids and expect them to be learning on empty stomachs. Come on. That was the worst thing you can do to a student. At least give him some money to eat. But I don't know what they were thinking. They took it away. Yeah. Now HH comes and that day they even increased their meal allowances. So they're just appreciating their leader. That's it. To me, they are not cadres. They are just smart young boys and girls appreciating what the leader is doing to them. That's it. So there's no politics there. There's no politics.
I'm sure Mr. Kazia thinks differently.
About you see, first of all, I want to correct something. Vadani and maybe that's one of the challenges I tell Vadani. When you have been away from Zambia for too long, at times you give very inaccurate statements. Vadani kulia kuveti kulia kunumaya veti kuya kuntanshi kulia. Those hostels that you see there were done by PF. Kwali vano musevota road from Kamloops to Nangwenya. A third road full done during the PF. Those hostels, they were started. Yengama hostels yarikulia. So if you're left for that, there were no hostels started by PF.
Started but not finished.
They were, yes, but that is why governments are going concerning. At a certain, I think 50 or 70% done. So UPND must finish them. It doesn't mean that there was nothing that was being done about the hostels. That is not right. That's not correct. Now, number two, we were all students, but Danny knows that. We were students from the University of Zambia. And the student conscious is different. The student conscious is different. Right now, as we talk about it, once all the ministers, all the shani, once to Unza party. Abana permanent secretaries, abana ministers, abana president, they were Unza party. This time, once if abana babutu na bokuruna mu Europe, no one is going to university paria. One minister can challenge that minister to even come and University of Zambia right now. Maybe they have taken out once. There's nothing happening in the university in terms of financing it. Yes, meal allowance could be increased, and it was a process that needed to be increased. There was a reason, and in Kandluo, I wish he could be brought in to explain why they cancelled the meal allowance and went to the loan system. They went to the loan system, not the bursary system, because of the resource envelope that was there at the time, to make sure that all the universities are catered for. Thank you very much. UPND comes and said, okay, this is a gap. We're going to finance it. It's a good thing to give them meal allowances. It is a good thing. But when you go to the other things that are supposed to make the university education the real education that people must assume, it's not there. Research and development killed at the University of Zambia right now. Ask the professors that are there the last time they got money to generally invest in research and development. It's dead. It doesn't exist. 4 years ago, they were talking about improving the sanitation at the University of Zambia. It has not been done. You go ku natural science badani ya toilet ya papa NSC ya panshi pa ya so you go and open it. Ba likakira na mawaya. So I am expecting the students to raise the issues to do with research and development, money allocated to their projects. Let's take back to research. How do you explain about the whole entire University of Zambia? Abana babo bonse bali barala ku Zambia, bali kuno. It is quantity education and not quality. Because if it is quality, their children must be there. Bali mu Australia abana babo, bali mu Canada, bali mu US, bali mu Europe. Ngani education yakunchi bali ku Chengelo, nga wayapa Chengelo kwati ni cabinet meeting wakwata. So if we are talking about education for the university, we must be able to properly finance it. Not to kuomfya political appeasement. Or to ayamukutasha, no, what tupela shani. But University of Zambia is not built on that. It's built on consciousness of the institution, including knowing that in the political dispensation, there are many other people within the university. There are many, many political parties, and students can belong to different political parties. If today, okay, to a socialist party with the same magnitude, would they even go out of the campus? If you are mwayapa campus, mwayachita engineer, we know about all that. All the students know that I'm a politicians, Valley, Sapa campus. There was even in Aslem there, which was the students' union in the support of Levi Mwanawasa. It was there. Where did it go? When you make a mistake,
Anyway.
when they realize that now Urienda Lama, you will see what they will do to those boys. The moment they see discrepancies, because we know if it's Tikapa University, that's why they tell you leave the university out of these political systems, because there are many, many things that needs to be done in the university.
All right. Okay.
So abana babo bali barala pa University of Zambia. Washapo baba nabo. Ilo bala mukubabike mukwapelende lama. No, we mean what do you mean? Meanwhile, give them money for research. Give them adequate money for upkeep. Give them money which should be able to make university education meaningful. Give the lecturers enough money.
Okay.
Which PF was doing?
Of which the PF didn't do. So anyway,
Which they didn't do.
you're just blowing.
PF mwale basaka kwa pa university. Abana benu imwe bose mwali babalala imwe. Give money to the University of Zambia lecturers. What have you done to them? Mule bakayama $500 per month, and you think you're doing anything else there? Mwaya intellectual property. I'm a PS. Mwaya send from the union and make it so weak that they can't even talk about their terms and conditions.
No. Okay. So here's the true narrative. I think
it's your opinion, Bachanda. There's no true narrative. What I've given you is the truth.
This is not my opinion.
So I can call my opinion as true narrative.
Well, this is the fact is this. The fact of the matter is this. Ever since the establishment of the University of Zambia, the students are now being appreciated more since the days of Kaunda.
You can confirm what he's saying.
Of Kaunda. When the PF came in, the PF today, I can tell you if you walk around Unza kuma ruins and mention PF, I want to kusaka because what they did to the students is very un-Zambian, 1, 2, very unconstitutional, and it deprived the young Zambians their pride of calling Unza their home, where they can get first-class knowledge. This is what they did. If Professor Luo as if as big as she is with the word professor, but she failed to use that. In Dalama, you'd rather put it kuma cadres, okay? Instead of giving the students meal allowance, you were diverting money everywhere. This is not necessary. Because you, University of Zambia. Okay? So it was easy for them to make those kind of decisions, to remove things like meal allowance. Okay? To make University of Zambia, unlivable. Students, batampokula renting makalingalinga, manani kaneu, everybody my boarding houses all over. Okay? Which led to a lot of death because in Gabale crossing University of Zambia, Vawapunka and stuff like that, that created bridge palia. So many things were happening. Iyo sanitation, Mulela and Dapo sanitation. It was because you failed to build proper living home. I mean, living residence for the students, because there's no way 19 pendef kondo bakaunda are the same ones they've been using when the population is growing. Now you can imagine, I once visited a friend of mine that time actually when he was doing his degree. Room aka no fear. Aka no fear like this. Jesus Christ, this is how you guys live? Karuma kano, which is meant for one person, but more about 5 or 6. Okay, now you can imagine my toilets. That's why there was poor sanitation. Now this current government is saying, before I go any further, we would like to welcome Bakalinda. Welcome to the show, Bakalinda.
Can you go to the most handsome host? Let's not talk about Arsenal this week. Because I can see that Doc is here. A handsome Losi husband, and of course Rakazila, my wonderful resident PS. How is everybody doing?
We're good.
Everybody's good.
Pretty
Oh, good. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm just winding up work. I work Saturday, so kind of like, yeah. But I mean, we're here, and definitely, I just want to ride on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've been discussing. We've talked about. Of course, we started with the Milanji case. We talked about that one. Dissected it. And we can revisit it again. But there's so much. We had a huge argument here. I wish you were here. And of course, we talked about the conviction of Bowman Lusambo. Now we're talking about the students when they rallied behind Bally to go and say thank you to State House.
That's what I want to talk about.
Okay,
that was. I mean, besides the aftermath of all the trash that they left, but it was beautiful to watch. I mean, it's never happened in the history of Zambia where the students. I mean, let's just be clear. Zambia, University of Zambia, Great East and Ridgeway. Those students are known for having violent protests. Burning tires on the streets of. That this was just beautiful, well organized, and they gave their message to the president. They endorsed him for 2026. I mean, I was sitting there wondering, what message is the opposition going to take to the University of Zambia? I remember, like you said, we're coming from a background. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're coming from a background where one woman who I had so much respect for, until one day, I don't know whether she left it, she's a professor, and she's a science professor. Because I mean, I believe that people who gravitate towards science, they're more intelligent than as the average Joes who gravitate towards poetry and writing and stuff like that and speaking. When she announced to the whole nation that they have decided to withdraw student allowance, it's never happened in the history of Zambia until that very moment. I mean, let me just tie it. Let me just link it because I'm going through right now with my son who is right now at the Ball State University doing science classes, and he was given free money from the government. I was given loans, free money to send him to get his 4-year degree from the government. And this is America. And any country in the world, they take care of their kids because these students, largely from ages, I would say 19, 24, they're in the prime of their life. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. And most of them are entrepreneurs. Some of them will end up being, the president. And just these students, some of them are coming from the remotest parts of the country. Some of them are the reincarnated church, growing up in a village, heading kernels, going to school. Probably the first pair of shoes he got was when he got to secondary school, and that was a better shoe. Looking at the man, what motivation and inspiration can you get? In the meantime, PF, I'm sorry we have to reference my PF. You are taking away allowances from these kids. Some of them can't even afford to go to school. You are taking away tuition. Come on, let's be human. So I think for me, really, it was a beautiful thing to see, and I could see a lot of them are inspired by, as they call him, their Bally. And you can see, the belief and trust that they have into this man, that he gave them back their meal allowances. I know the PF want to write on, it's just so much, but that's so much you took away, and then you are giving it to the slave queens in Saramapak. Huh? You are giving it to the faithful soldiers of these gods who can be in a house with 65 million kwacha cash and other millions of dollars.
All those are the Malanji money.
Yes, people should have shame. Just tying it to the Malanji thing now. How do you use a presidential jet? First of all, you have a Ministry of Finance, transferring this cash to Turkey, and then you use a presidential jet to go and collect this money in bags.
Cash.
Millions of dollars cash. You come back to Zambia, and then you spend almost 100 days, or how many days there were, depositing $100,000 of. Come on. That amount of money, $5 million? Do you at 36 million question now? How many can it cater for CDF? Let's have shame, people. Let's have shame.
Takwaba business over eating in that kind of money every week. Yeah. We want to know what kind of business that was. Okay, let's remove the fact that since you want to be arguing that no, he already had money, he was huge, he was doing businesses, he had huge contracts, Kumaini. Can you tell us and show us the name of the company?
He failed to show that evidence.
The dividends.
That's even wasting. That's even wasting our time because he failed to prove that in the court of law.
These are facts.
He failed completely.
Yeah.
What he did was trying to, fraudulently collect papers from Congo and said, no, I'm doing business with this company in Congo, which turned out to be the address at, this is what happens when you're trying on the fast lane, the business he gave the courts, let's verify that it turns out to be an address where nuns lived. Who does that?
It's a bogus kind of, yeah.
It wasn't bogus. The address they used was for nuns. It was a whatever you call, however the nuns live, No, it was a nun's house. That's he used.
Malanji should have nobody to defend him in any way. None, zero.
And
nobody.
For me, really, 4 years is a slap on the hand. That man should have gone in for 20 years.
You have, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think some more charges might follow him because the argument is like there's some more money that they are still chasing right now. and which is not have been accounted for, and they're still investigating. So he might end up going back to court again to answer for those and more charges. So meaning, even if he's getting 4 now, he may end up getting another 8 or 10 or whatever after the
But
whole
the
thing.
Also,
Because
problem,
it's
the
not
problem,
over. It's not over yet.
and also, and it's not over, and also the foolishness of appealing to a higher court. Does he think they're going to receive the evidence? They're not going to look at the evidence. And I hope when he, with that appeal, the judges will give him 10 years. I'm just saying.
Vakarinda. You see, the reason for
And
there has been in Zambia when you appeal, the court can overturn what has actually been pronounced.
Judgment ingarabapanga.
Muzambia balachinja judgment. You should know that. You have a lot of evidence where judgment passed 4 times and be changed past in Zambia. I'm telling you that. For free. If you want, you can argue. But the examples that are there where judgment are done,
we will be on the I will be on the streets of Lusaka protesting.
you will not even do anything such.
No,
Because
not in this case. Not in this case.
I was telling
Not
Badania,
in this case.
I was telling them there's nothing like not in this case. Usually the power of incumbency. Vakarinda, I've seen it 4 times from UNIP, MMD, PF, UPND. There is a similar pattern of arrogance of incumbency. And there's a similar pattern of how people selectively apply the law. In Apanachilando if you let Malanji, if you are kuti Malanji, Namashani, there is current things that are happening now. Not just over and above Malanji. I was giving examples here. $80 million China mistakenly. How do you, Wakalinda, mistakenly send $80 million to a foreign country? And who did that mistake is never told. We have never known that. These are people we must arrest to the same degree we are arresting Malanji. The people that stole 50 million worth of drugs, we must arrest them and to the same degree we did with Malanji. The people that turned gold into copper overnight, the people for Sujilite, we must do these things across the board. For me, I have no sympathy with criminality. But what I have sympathy for is when selective application of the law is done. And then when people complain, this is selective, you say, wait for many upper. You should just be thinking about it. You didn't have more power. Because if you let Kalinda is this, if we do not deal with past corruption the way you are dealing with very aggressiveness the same way it is, deal with the current corruption to the same degree. When people raise eyebrows about it, can you deal with it the same way? Because if it's a power, hell will break loose. And I want you to keep this record that I'm telling you today. When UPND leave power, hell will break loose for just picking everybody. Because when people are complaining about this kind of selective application, $50 million power exports, agricultural fertilizer procurements, single sourcing and everything else, procedures, ambulances, the same thing Vayamba has been arrested for. Uyo pili epwali. Gary Ngombo just resigned. President. But these are procedural matters where the president even says it. Now, what action are we seeing to stop the criminality? Well and good. Today is very good and very important to talk about Malanji, talk about Bowman, talk about anyone else, anyone who was associated with PF, and shield those that are seen to be part of the UPND. But it will not be for long. I want the president to act on everybody. Ngabachita act on Malanji, he must act on Gary Nkombo, arrest him as well. Why have we gotten 11 ambulances and others are not there? Why up to today? No Mulandu Ekalazi. How can a person send $80 million to China?
What did Gary Ngopo do? I'm a bit lost.
Procurement of the ambulances. You have not seen that? You have not heard that?
How is Gary
Did you
Ngopo
see-
connected?
He was on the floor of parliament saying that ambulances are less.
No, but procurement of ambulances,
some ambulances.
is it Gary Nkombo's
You see, you can ask those questions today. That is it, whatever.
No, it's a simple. I mean, it's a very innocent question.
I am telling
is it
you,
his job to do the procurement of ambulances?
If you go and tell parliament that in this time ambulance might as minister and then ambulances don't show up, what do they do to you?
No. There's so many factors, obviously.
Can I just come in? I think we are losing the conversation. The conversation is on Malangi's conviction. It's not bring on if he ever thinks that but we are losing our audience.
We can't just talk about Malanja and forget what is currently happening. How
It's not on the menu
like that?
It's not on the menu of today's.
No, it's on the menu. When you bring Malanji in, Malanji was a minister.
It's not on the menu.
Listen, Wakazia, we'll discuss those issues if they will go to court, the court rule,
so now,
and then they find somebody guilty. Then because now what we're discussing is what went through the courts of law. And what went through the courts of law
hiding behind the fingers.
No. We're just simply trying to give the people of Zambia the truth. We don't want to speculate, because at this point, those are, we can call them just speculations, because we don't know exactly. That's why I was asking you those.
There's speculation when the Secretary to Treasury said that happened. How is it?
They have not gone to court to be proven.
I'm asking you, how is it speculation?
Everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
The question that when you come and say I'm speculating when the Secretary to Treasury spoke about it, how is it speculation?
Okay, so moving forward, I think as we move forward, we're about to close the show. Hey guys, I think we've had a huge bumper harvest. Everybody's happy. The Zambian government is mopping maize everywhere. At this point, they've mopped up about 1.2 million tons of maize bought by FRA, which is a huge milestone that has precedented from all these past years, past governments. The directive, the president was even on TV yesterday. He was saying, FRA, don't close the depots. Make sure you buy all the maize and make sure you pay the farmers on time. And he had even had a special meeting with everybody, all the key stakeholders, to say, guys, banks everywhere, money is coming from the government. It's going into the banks. When the farmers come to withdraw the money, let them give them their money. Don't hold to say, oh, the money we have not been paid or there's no money. Everybody that has sold to FRA, they're being paid on time. And the farmers are happy. They're saying, look, I didn't expect for the first time, since I don't know, I just go there, I bring my 30 bags of maize, boom, they pay me my money. I think this is a lucrative business. Next year, I'll do more. So encouraging the farmers to do more is to pay them, make sure the imports are there. And that's what this current government is doing. So 1.2 as we speak has been bought, and more is yet to be bought as we go forward. So I don't know, anybody that would be upset. Even PF, you want to bring in, obviously, oh no, our shiny, gachiriso. People are happy. The people of Zambia are happy. The farmers are happy. That's all we need to hear.
Talking about Ubunga.
Is it? So Ubunga, these are the measures like Ubunga tabwaka werefe kwa tabrakadabra. Abantu ngo batambo kulima sana kwa tifine balelima. You can imagine next year's bumper harvest when it happens, which is going to happen, by the way, because the maize now is being produced all year round. 364, 65 days. Takuli kulega. Ngayapa rainy season in irrigation. Rainy season yaingira again, just like that. Ema directive ya president. Wakalinda. I think you got some farms nani kani kunani kani kuna mwala ni kwisa kunani kani
In Monza, I do have like 5 acres in Monza. So, well, let me just say that. I mean, we love what's going on, but there was some little concerns, at least in my area, where the FRA were playing a double standards, stating that money was not there. But I think it's since been clamped down, and farmers are getting paid, like you said. I mean, I mean, who is not happy about taking, like you said, Rachel, 30 bags of maize to FRA, and you're getting 340 for your sweat? Everybody's happy, and everybody's going into farms. I mean, it's not just our regular farm. Even the people like teachers, civil servants. They're also they're farming for their own home consumption and selling more. That's why we are expecting bumper harvest 3.5 million trillion tons of maize altogether. That's a huge achievement, and hopefully with this bumper harvest, we should see the price of milling meal going down. I wonder what Arena Rubinda will be campaigning on next year. Bunga is going down. The price of milling meal is going down. So I think it's good for everyone, and I just hope that our government continue to do more. And if there are people that are trying to frustrate, because they are, we've seen it this farming season by withholding payment. Let's clean up the system.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's all I have to say on that one.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dr. Danny?
As I said last week, it's very, very nice. Actually, it's the largest bumper harvest in the history of the country. We've never produced this amount of maize since Zambia, since our Independence Day. So this is the biggest and the sweetest, I guess, because it was after the drought. Now, the only worry I have, I said it last week, was with all this amount of maize we have grown, let's not be susceptible. We are susceptible to damage by the incoming rains because of storage issues. So let's start planning ahead, because the rain season is coming soon, and we don't want to hear the stories of maize being spoiled by the rains.
Yeah.
So we should start now planning about the storage initiatives. Not in November when we have the first rains and then say, oh my goodness, what do we do? Let's start talking about storage. This is huge. Maize bumper harvest. There's a lot of maize which is still uncovered. It's there in the open. You remember the one that got burnt last week. So there's a lot of maize which is very, very, in very vulnerable open spaces. And the bumper harvest can be a story of the past if we're not careful. So that's the only question I need.
That's an example. Like for us, I've got a question. A shade that can hold about maybe half a ton of maize. Or maybe that's it. Maybe that's even too much. How much would it cost? Like how what's the story? Like all these maize, storage. Like what are their capacities right now, and how much does it cost to build one?
It depends on the materials and whatever you want to store there. The closed shed has its own advantage and disadvantages. Okay, so it needs proper ventilation first, because storing maize which is freshly harvested in a closed environment is not good. It accumulates humidity. It needs to dry. So what they do is they first put them in open space where it dries. The moisture content has to reach a certain level, percentage. And then when it's very dry, that's when you can put it in a closed building. But in the beginning, you have to put it in an open space for it to dry completely. So they have two types of things that they use. They have these slabs. It's just like a concrete slab, which is elevated, of course, in case it rains.
Is that what they used to call them at silos long time ago?
No, yeah, silos are for very dry maize. When it has really dry, there are different stages of storing maize.
Uh-huh.
You first start by storing it in an open area to let it dry.
Uh-huh.
And after that, you put it in a closed shed for storage.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to transport it, you put it in a silo. A
Uh-huh.
silo is where, if you want to transport it, the trucks will be coming under the silo. You just open the valve like this, and then there was silos are normally for easy emptying and transportation from place to place. So
Okay.
there are different ways but in Zambia right now, what we have, FRA has mostly open slabs with very thick tents, like material, tarpaulin type of material. So what they do is they'll put the bags there. When they get the weather is okay, they open the tent, whatever the cover, so that the maize loses a lot of moisture, and in the evening or whatever, they cover it again
Okay.
until the moisture. So right now there are different types of storage facilities, but the maize we are getting now, it still has a lot of moisture, so we cannot put them in the shade yet. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that it's still very susceptible to being soaked because it's still exposed. So we have to plan ahead. Otherwise, if the rain season starts and the maize is still in the open slabs, that can be disastrous.
Maybe just to put the shades, maybe we put shades on those slabs, when it starts raining.
Yeah, by the time November, maize should be transported into the sheds. But right now it's an open area because it needs to lose moisture. Otherwise,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, we have to plan. We have to plan with storage because I think it happened in Lupia Bandas. We lost a lot of maize at one time due to the rains. So it's not supposed. That's not supposed to be.
That's why my question comes, like, how much does it cost to build one shed? Like, just a simple shed. How much would it cost? Because I mean, the government should obviously start thinking of building more. Because if we're having problem of storage, and if you don't want the maize to go to waste, we should start planning now to say, okay, fine, can we build these amounts of shades around?
Yeah, they have. But the good thing is that privatize that row. That the sheds are owned by individuals like you and me.
Okay.
And FRI just subcontracts. So even you can go in the business of building a shed if you have money. And FRI will come and sublet it to you. I know one friend of mine, Bodania, who's doing that. He's into sheds. Yeah, so he has sheds, and the FRI, they are renting his sheds. But they have to be in a certain standard, though.
Certain standards. Wow, that's good. That's a good business to look at. Anyway, so let's close up, lady and gentlemen. Bakazia.
Yeah, I think bumper harvest for me, it has to translate up to what the president had indicated, the cost of meal. If we produce and the people are still, that is, for me, that is very important because I know can't you see my produce, but and you are okay with it.
It takes time.
No, it doesn't take time when you've produced enough. What's your problem?
Okay, tell us the solution. No. Let's do this. Tell us the solution and how.
No, you see, one thing is that this is one thing that shocks me all the time.
How do you look in
Now,
London?
when I start opening the mouth, Dan is the first one to jump in. I don't know why.
Okay, London, mutupeleka solution. Mutupeleka solution ngani mwevo. How you can reduce it to 50%.
Ama-solution mwali kwata. Ama-solution mwaleva na abantu how we are going to do it. Input nyapa, cost nyapa. Ni mwaleva ika ama inputs ayo. Ni mwaleva internet, ni mwaleva epa abantu in that formula that you are using. So when I said that I would love to see this bumper harvest translate into some reduction of the cost of meal, is that too much to ask? Now, I know it takes time. Yes, I know it takes time. But the question is that...
Absolutely, Wakazia, absolutely not. Your question is being answered now. The price of minimum is going down.
Yeah, but you see,
in some cases, it's going down from 350. It's hovering around 260.
Vakalinda, for me, I am interested in seeing this price go slightly very low to where even at least 100 kwacha. not 50 kwacha that was promised. At least even parapeni mwasendele uteko mwaisangire palia mwaifikawo palia pene palia pali 125. Anything over and above that. Ubunga bwali 125 na imo.
Before that? Before that, how much was it?
Ubunga in how many years?
So before you took over.
In how many years?
Okay.
So when I jump to ask questions. Muchia compare amenshi na amenshi. Ubunga babusangire chinga pali how many years? Imo ubunga mwa within 1 year ubunga mwa chita 300%.
There was a drought.
What kind of drought? Which drought? You said there was nothing like drought, lack of leadership. Kefi mwale so sabaila imo. Mwale sabaila fia kusabaila when people remind you want to pretend like Tamari land. Your words matter. What comes out of your mouth matters. When you are held accountable for what you said, no drought. Once about the talk about drought. What were you saying? Failure of leadership. Yamaraiti. Oh, good to bite a kwabamaraiti. Temumare filande. Could you are them never pack and want to fill and then? You see, some of these things, conversation. Let's just have a conversation which speaks to the things that, okay, me, I would love to see this. If it makes sense that prices should go down, yes, it should be. But not to kwambo mabusangire parishinga.
Okay.
Na alafu maparishinga ndio mwalandisha. Epo tu abusang. Twalimembe tuka ba 50 kwacha hivi.
Okay, let's go back to the bumper harvest. Let's go back to the mopping up of the men.
Told you here. The problem is that you are too geared to want to argue, such that the point where you even lose the aspect of the rational conversation that one is trying to bring in.
The thing of the matter is,
bumper harvest, I have told you, I don't know if Ingalarande Mikushinga Pakuti move. Ntile, bumper harvest is a good thing. It's a good thing, and I've told you that. And I'm saying that for me, now, for this bumper harvest, for me to appreciate it much better, I want to see the reduction for what is going Kubunga.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So closing remarks. I think we're going to start with the lady. You know, we're going to start with our beautiful lady Bakalinda. Closing remarks. We have to close the show now. Your closing last remarks, and then we go to Madani, then Wakazia, and then I'll do the rest in that order.
All right. Well, good show, gentlemen. I'm happy to be. I didn't do the chef more because I'm using my Zambian language. But hey, good show. I'm at work. I work Saturdays. So anyway, I'll meet you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Good show. See you next week. Let's keep talking.
My Lord, see you next week.
Okay.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
You are awesome.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
Dr. Danny.
All right. For me, I come back to football. Zambian football. Please, let's get rid of this coach. He's not doing us any good for our players and our people. We've been given 3 points for free, but still we're still struggling in the way of we are not qualifying anyway for the World Cup. The chances are very, very slim because of him. So let's get rid of him. I don't know what we're waiting for, but to me, I want another coach. Our boys have talent, but the coaching staff is very disappointing. Thank you.
All right. Wakazia. Last remark.
Combine this with rant, isn't it?
Yeah, they say last remarks, rant, whatever you want to say, it's last remarks, sir.
Okay, my rant goes to 2 things. Number 1, I think I was watching President Kasonde Mwenda on Mulungushi Textiles. Please, can we get some feedback on that? Ngachakwe bati mwaidisura Mulungushi tuishi bati Mulungushi Textile has been opened, because to show that it is going to open and then Ichanchambo kumena panse is not right. Then number 2 is the issue to do with the University of Zambia. For me, I want to see financing and funding going back to the University of Zambia in terms of research and development, and also to start to pay particular attention to the quality to start to pay serious attention to the quality of education that is coming from the University of Zambia. Right now, if someone asked any person with money in Zambia to say, can you send your child to University of Zambia? The answer most people are saying is no. And that is very evident from how our political leadership have treated the University of Zambia. They've taken all their children, taxpayers' money, Canada, kuno where education is
PF.
PF PF kuti bafo government. I'm talking about government officials. I'm talking about ministers that we pay. So ngachakwe vati PF na venanga varisende avana vavo vavatwara kuno. Me, my children are here because they're Canadians, and they will enjoy that fruit of being Canadians. But the question that I'm talking about are people that are in government. So twale nyaba na venupa University of Zambia because mwana that mwali solve quality of education, mwali sa improve. But PF ngataba chira improve quality of education. How have you improved it? By sending your children away here, and meanwhile we are paying for them through the taxes. So mupose kwa my students they must be able to check that out and say, wait a minute, how come their children are not here? Anyone who speaks is talking, oh, my children came from America, now they are here. No. If you work for government, I've always long believed that your children must go into public institutions because that is where you're going to pay attention. Here, my children go to the institution where even the child for the provincial premier is. They're in the same class, they sit next in the same public institution. Right now, they've even introduced food now here in New Brunswick. Children who eat breakfast at the school, primary school, at the grade 1 to 7. They've introduced that. Now they've even introduced food between grade 8 to grade 12. So a child can go to the canteen, get the food and eat, breakfast. All the children. You are behind
the US. You are behind the US. That's what we do all the time.
Aha. So that's why the fact of the matter is ngawalichita improve quality of education. Abano vishi valechita kuno. But wale
ichishinga abanyukwa bengi 99.9% ba mu PF na mu MMD
ba PF
ba
PF na ba UPND benuti balete abana
batabali
batanda ba PF na ba UNIP kuti balete abana babo kunonga tabali mu government but ngoli mu government no minister we ulela that need to improve quality of education but we are University of Zambia we balete kuno
so balete kuno mwapwisha like any nine mpwisha ndandeko
shule balete kuno so mupose kwa manoko students watch out for that. Research money must start being given. Lecturers need to be given the money for research. Proper money be given to research and development.
Okay, fantastic. So, in a nutshell, if you're Mwalanda, those are some of the things I wanted to talk about. But in any case, research and development, yes, is very vital for any university. Yeah, I mean that's the key component of part of developing any economy and there's no way you can tell me that there is no budget like that at the University of Zambia.
Research and development is partnered between private and the government everywhere.
Yeah. And if something like what you call it, just meal allowance is key, and feeding programs is key. But what about that? And this government is actually driving the agenda of SMEs, private sector, partnering. Let's talk about things that are there, not things that are not there. And so now, Ilia Shiro Machira Leteria, Molongoshi Textiles. Is going to mislead you. I mean, I've seen politicians.
Please. Don't say it's misleading me. I can choose to be misled by myself.
No. What I'm saying is, be careful.
There's nothing saying which
Because
is not right.
I've never seen in the history of politics umuntu fye who abafi against
From your data,
umuntu uli yonse anakwata ku sometimes
no,
you were talking about Chanda,
but
I kept quiet. Can I just finish my point as well? Can I just put my submission? You put your submission. So my submission is this: he's somebody. He just wakes up and he just starts by reading the internet with all this negativity. Because if you are a real patriot or a real politician, Kulava sometimes wonder what, if he, yes, if he, no. Not if fiance, never suma fiance, and you know that's wrong. But here's the thing, he's got no solutions.
But
so me, I don't take people like that. I never take anybody like that serious. Somebody they just condemn, but they don't come up with the solutions. So if me, you're going to say, oh, banani kaneba echechi bachitefi. Ine nkachitefi. Then I'll be like, oh, you can do that. Okay, maybe he's got a point. But okay,
but evidence vachanda fidalanda pamulunguchi bushefyachi nana ngubufi mufile mwaji sai that's how you should argue.
I think Bakazia you're above that.
But untu ngampela evidence
no evidence is there. Bakazia you're above that. You know okay umfweni Bakazia Pamulungushi Textiles, you know for a fact that Mulungushi Textiles, they are just installing the new equipment. Equipment since they are wakaunda bachipangire chikurwa. Baya funya yonse fa machine file fya kale filia. Batampo kubika po ama machine ya aya new. Batampo ku ya still install. Right now they are still installing whatever you can find touches. Everybody knows I'm a track yale pita bantu barefi munene fima track nama new equipment. So let's not be misled from them, but don't be misled.
The questions answer the questions.
Here's the thing. If the whole big government of Zambia and China basa balanda mwebantu bakolesa solution pali ichichikuru echi tefira balera ndaba PF atawe tuyeni turungishe vye chimashini ichi tushitama pati aya solution because if they are obsolete. The machinery was here in Mulungushi Textiles was obsolete. Meaning that it cannot even be used now. It's like it's obsolete. In obsolescence level, it was obsolete. Change the new machinery. I'm a track they were coming in the country. People were seeing Name and Sophia.
No,
you can go on the internet and see for yourself.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay. So
can I ask you a question?
Wait, let me finish. Yariama machinery. They needed to be mounted. Te machine if you got the machine no boom. These are huge machineries that need to be installed by professionals and installed properly. Engineers from China, engineers from Zambia, they come together, they put all those things together. So right now, Walima final touches, they're installing those things. And then so you can imagine sometimes in that you can understand how people can believe people like that. Anyway, ask your question.
My question is, let's say if Kason Demwenda plays a video of the president saying something and giving a time frame, LOI on the ground, he shows that this is a time frame that was given and this is still not done. And there's no explanation about it. Is he wrong?
Well, you're asking, here's the thing. You said they were lying to the people at Murungushi Textiles Wiki. That's the main contention.
What was
okay. So if there are delays on opening a plant, or there may be technical issues. Finge Vigitica, you're putting up a new big plant with
Iyo ni
new
justification
machinery.
Mulela. Then don't
Okay.
promise time frame ngata wishibe.
No, it
You can't promise.
doesn't matter. The
No,
matter
it
is this.
does. What comes after UPND? What
No,
comes out of your mouth matters.
ati chintu ichita cha kweswike. I heard him, I was watching him. Ati cha kweswike. But if you know who feel valid to the previous, who feel valid to
Quiet. So at that point in time, you must swallow the bitter pill. You keep quiet when he's talking. But you cannot go and argue with him when you have not opened.
No, it's in the opening process, because if machinery it's open, and if there are people working in the plant, it's open partially. You see, because there are people in there working. In case you didn't know, there are people working in there. Local people from Kawi. They have employed them, over 1,000 people are working in there. So it's open. But there are people abale lungisha we are tuna kanani kani oyesta wale kani we dishansha.
If you mulela and they feel chitika yo. That is not what is happening. What is happening?
I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video, okay? So that you see for yourself. I'll send you the video.
From what?
What's happening now? I'll send you the video.
You see, there's something that I've appreciated. No matter what you can say, let me give you my opinion about Kasonde Mwenda. And this opinion is backed by, he never goes to talk without bringing facts.
We will say, make a video.
No, he will play what you have done, or he will bring a document. Kasonde is the only politician right now who argues with facts.
I feel sorry for you.
No, ndekonka feka sonde ndekonka efyalelanda bushefilina amano bushefyachine ngachakati Kasonde Mwenda afumya video imwe bachanda mulelanda ati muleya kulusaka lero ero mailo tamwile ero leta mwile ero someone comes and say bachanda balanda tubakesha ku Zambia no batabeshile. So how can I say imwe mulebe? I shouldn't believe that.
Dr. Danny
Baya badani abo mulefu aya.
Okay, I think we end the show here, because we don't want to make somebody popular when he's not even popular, or relevant when he's not even relevant.
He's very relevant and a very good guy.
No. I don't subscribe to those kind of politics. I don't. He started off well, and then he diverted. No. He started off well, and then he diverted. When somebody diverts.
He didn't divert, he just bring facts. So why do you want to be running away from facts, Banan? Because when they bring the facts, this is what you're doing. No, he's a propagandist. How?
No, there's no fact in there. I can tell you for a fact. There are people working in there. Why are abantu tabale bomba wakopa video? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We're going to end here today. We'll see you next week. And of course, we have some more details in what's happening in the the PF Hist, which was huge. It looks like it's a movie, but it's something that real life. People actually can do those kind of mafia moves. And I think I can now believe, certain circles of the political scene that were saying, the jet was used to, do some illegal stuff. This is just one of them, that we've just seen that has been ruled by the courts of Zambia. And 2 people have been, sentenced to prison. So it's not just a rumor anymore. It's real. Real life, heist moves, mafia moves, and that's why certain circles of people, they don't even want to come back to Zambia because they are linked to this kind of issues. But for now, we're gonna say bye and thank you, and we'll join you next week. God bless and have a good afternoon or weekend.